Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and this is the 58 Keys Script Club, a book club, but about scripts and screenplays. You could listen to me enthuse, or just go read the scripts. Link in the description below. This time, television script, British television, and it's a comedy, so you could argue it's should we say it's 39 pages? It's a breeze, 39 pages, through it in a flash. But this is special. Motherland by Holly Walsh, Sharon Horgan, Graham Linehan and Helen Linehan. It's the script specifically to the pilot episode. That's the only one that's available. But actually, before anything else, though, I've got to tell you something. Something about writer, actor, producer, and just generally all-round star, I think, Sharon Horgan, that you are unlikely to know unless, I didn't notice you there, but you might happen to write for America's AppleInsider.com as I do. It's a few years ago now, okay, so maybe you've just forgotten. Sharon Horgan was signed to a first look deal by Apple TV+. Now, on the day that happened, on the day that news broke, I'd been writing for AppleInsider.com, but I'd finished with them. I was at my Mac here with the widescreen. I was doing, I think it was Writers Guild work. I'm deputy chair of the Writers Guild of Great Britain, and I'm working away, but I'd forgotten to turn off Slack. Now, this is if you don't know, it's an app it's like a social media, but within a company. Apple Insider uses it for editorial discussions, assignments, commissions, all of that. So there I am, typing away on Guild work. I would have said totally focused, but corner of the eye, I see someone being assigned to cover this news that Sharon Horgan had signed with Apple, basically, Apple TV+. Both I and the person who was assigned the news story immediately responded on Slack. I mean, I just zoomed to it, and so did he. But where he wrote, who? I wrote, wow. The story was reassigned to me. So actually, in a very, very tiny, short way, I got a commission because of Sharon Horgan. So, thank you. Okay. Now, Horgan is superb, of course, and with that Apple TV Plus deal, she went on to write Bad Sisters, the hit Bad Sisters. But at the time, my favourite work of hers and of Holly Walsh's and Graham Linehan and Helen Linehan was this, okay, specifically this, Motherland. The short version, if you don't know the series, is that it's about a mother trying to balance a pressured career with having 2 children, and I don't know, I want to say 3 children in a way, because that's better than saying her husband's a bit of an arse, but said it now. So it's home life, a little bit of work life, and a lot of life at the school gates or around there, the battlefield that is other mothers. Now, I'm not a parent. I've seen the school run, I mean, often enough, and the sheer volume of mothers and the sheer thimble of fathers at the school gates, because I actually, as it happens, I often get invited into schools as a visiting author, so I've seen a wall of it. I'm also plainly not a mother, so I mean, intellectually I can imagine I know of the pressures, and actually certainly have enough friends who are mothers that I hear the stories. I do get the juggling that's in it. I do recognise that side of home life that's cooking and washing and meal planning and ironing. God in heaven, ironing. Okay, and I'm going off the point here. Okay, but it's you. And when else am I going to get to vent about ironing? It is a rule in ironing that no matter how carefully you examine a shirt that you've just washed, you will never spot the one remaining stain until you have ironed every other single bit of the thing. My solution is just to dress badly. So you didn't have to agree. Anyway. Anything you're doing at home can, of course, be pressured, of course. It will, of course, have deadlines, so I get that. Anybody would get that. And if I can't really appreciate the pressures that Julia, played by Anna Maxwell Martin, is under, I've worked for and with people under pressures like that. And yet, while I think that all of this helps me enjoy the show, I don't think you need to have had any stress in your life ever to get the idea. The script conveys it all that well, and it's funny. Look at this one line. I want my children to be brought up like I was by my mother. God, I wish I'd written that. Or the whole script. Really? Okay, obviously I want you to go read it if you haven't already. Of course I do. It is great and you'll just so enjoy it. But you must let me pick out one more thing that you are extraordinarily unlikely to know unless I suppose unless you work for certain TV companies, or maybe, like I do, spend your days reading scripts, you scrounge from anywhere you can at all. And this story, actually, I should specify this, it must be very specifically about Sharon Horgan, even though this Motherland pilot is credited to 4 writers. Because of this, I can't know the details. I can't know the contract terms, the rights, the periods. I can't know any of that. But I do know this. At some point before Motherland, Sharon Horgan must have been commissioned to write a pilot of a series based on the movie Bad Moms. I've not seen the film. I think I've read the script. It's very funny, but I haven't seen the film yet. But I've definitely read Horgan's TV pilot script, and that is excellent. I mean, it's so good. It's so funny. But also in one repeated stage, really familiar. Bad Moms, the TV show, didn't get picked up to series. I don't know if the pilot was ever filmed, but as I'm reading the Bad Moms TV script, many years after it was written, I kept wondering, have I read this before? Because there's this one character and there are these certain scenes that she's in that were just incredibly familiar. And then I realised that it was because that character and those whole chunks of scene, those whole sets of dialogue were used in Motherland. Surely that means Sharon Horgan must have got paid twice for the same line. So you've got to admire a trade craft, but also, I tell you, whatever went on with that, I'm really grateful because the lines were so good. Yeah. Motherland itself. I came to Motherland, the aired TV show, when it had gone to series, and actually a producer I was talking to said that she turned out to be a little bit disappointed with the series because the pilot that this script is of was so much better than the following episodes. I don't know that I agree, but also I do know that I didn't know there was a pilot. I hadn't even heard there was a pilot. I came into the series fresh. So the pilot to me was like this bonus, extra great episode. And a bonus, extra great script for me to read. Although I should say, Motherland it's kind of able to make you wince at least as much as it is to make you laugh. And it's now been followed by a sequel called Amandaland. It makes sense when you know the show. And so far I've not been brave enough to watch it. Yeah, but obviously I'd read the script if I could get them for it. So tantalising to just have one. But a link for that one, a link for Motherland's pilot is in the description. Now, thanks for watching and listening to the bit about ironing. Take care of yourself. Don't iron things. Read more. But also, I'm looking at it. You're a writer. Write more. It's important. And I'll see you soon.